Good morning, everybody. This is Kathy Elkins with Premier Marketing. I want to thank you for taking your time from your busy schedule to join us in what I find a very interesting subject with Sagicor Life. I have Corey Martin on the line with us. He's our regional sales manager. Good morning, Corey. How are you doing this morning?
Kathy, good morning. Thanks so much for having us. We're glad to be here.
Oh, I'm glad you're here with us. You know, I'm so excited. This is probably one of my favorite topics this time of the year to be talking about, but the no lapse sales product that you guys have out there, a great GUL plan to be talking with your clients about. I know you got some great information, some great sales pieces here to work with and details, so I'm not going to take any more of your time. Please share with the audience how this product can actually change their business and their clients.
Absolutely. Okay? Kathy, thanks again for having us. It's great to be here. Good morning, everyone. My name is Corey Martin. I'm the regional sales manager for Sagicor Life. I'm based in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and I'm thrilled to be coming to you this morning. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about these topics specifically, and I've been blessed to be in this business since 1994. Don't date me, but 1994, a lot of the ideas and concepts that we're going to share with you today, you know, a lot of this stuff has been around for a number of years. But when I got started in the business, I understood very early that we all have to have products. We all have to have processes. But most importantly, we've got to have ideas and concepts that we can talk to people about, that we can share ideas and solutions to get where we all want to go. Because in my opinion, this business is really about helping improve outcomes. And that's the spirit of what we're going to talk about this morning, is not only the process and product piece of it, which are obviously extremely important, but you know what, Corey, you better show me how to sell it. So that's the spirit of what we're going to talk about this morning. So let's get moving. So for those of you that are not aware, here's a little bit about Sagicor Life. I've been with Sagicor about 18 months now, and I was with the Fortune 500 company previously. And what I love about Sagicor and what I love about the company itself is the fact that it's big enough to be you know, an A- rated company, to be a you know, a financial powerhouse in the marketplace, the longevity of having been around since 1840. But what's great about Sagicor is, you know what, we're small enough that when you pick up the phone, you can talk to somebody and they'll know your name. And I think Kathy would back me up there that, you know what, we have open dialogue here. We want to have feedback. We want that partnership, and that to me is the biggest part of what we do and what we provide. So from a product perspective, let's just initially, I just like to introduce this Sage No Lapse UL, which this product has kind of taken over the marketplace and provides multiple scenarios where we can improve outcomes for your clients. This is a little bit about some of the niches, marketplace, preferred, standard underwriting classes that we provide. But what's interesting to know about the no lapse marketplace in general is that many carriers have backed away from this space. This low interest rate environment has caused a lot of companies, and I'm not going to name any names, but there have been some carriers that have made some significant changes, including getting out of this marketplace. So as you see carriers make changes to limit face amounts that they're going to write, limit ages that they're going to write, increase pricing, we haven't done any of this. So what you're going to find on a lot of the search engines and a lot of the competitive detail engines, you're going to find us very competitively priced from a lifetime pay, a short pay, or a single pay. We're going to provide the concepts that we're going to talk through, really kind of touch on all of these. And what's also important to know, this Sage No Lapse UL has a chronic illness benefit attached to it. It's not available in all states, so check your state availability. But this product is becoming more and more prevalent because the Sagicor name is getting out there relative to our, not only the product, but the process, which I'd like to talk through here in a bit, which is a no telephone interview and no bodily fluid product process. So again, we're providing the ideas and the tools behind the scenes to help you grow your practice, to help you have conversations with your clients, but we're going to put you in a good position to have those favorable conversations and then the outcomes that we all want, which are quick issue. So let's talk real quickly about our process. With the pandemic, it's back in March, our lives all changed pretty dramatically when it came to positioning life insurance, selling life insurance, taking applications. A lot of carriers struggled early on because of the fact that they didn't have the pieces in place to take you digitally end to end. In other words, make the process easy for you and your clients. Well, Sagicor was one, and what frankly attracted me to join the Sagicor team about 18 months ago was looking at the process here. This is an automated engine. This ACCELEWRITING Advantage is really it's an automated engine is what it is. There's no telephone interviews that your clients are going to experience, which in my in my history within this business is a big breakdown of where a lot of cases go sideways. No paramed exams, limited APSs, and e-applications for approval, oftentimes with the underwriting that can be done as quickly as 2 minutes. So what we find is about 35% of the time we have a decision in 2 minutes. Most of the time, 50 or 75% of the time, you're going to get a decision within 5 to 7 days. So we're ready to fund business within 5 to 7 days. That's an extremely quick turnaround. So positioning your clients for success with the opportunity with an automated process to have that 2-minute decision, but knowing that 35% of the time those clients will get that particular outcome. Now, again, as I mentioned, it's a delivery process as well that provides e-delivery solutions. So literally, it's end-to-end digital. You can go online, take our applications online, the e-applications and e-delivery. Again, it's perfect for today's circumstances where a lot of clients are not real keen on having somebody come and sit across the dinner table or come to their place of business or whatever the case might be. So you've got face amounts up to $400,000 up to age 65. So again, a lot of the ideas and concepts that we'll talk through here in a minute will fit perfectly for what we're trying to accomplish. So how do we start a conversation? And I have, like I said, I've been in this business a long time, and I've gotten my face beat up in the field as well. So I understood very early that you've got to have a conversation that takes that really takes the client conversation the way that I want to go. And about 6 years ago, I had the distinct pleasure to meet with and listen to a presentation by a top of the table MDRT advisor in the St. Louis area. He gave a conversation and a talk of just compelling information. So at the end of the conversation, he opened up for questions. The gentleman, one gentleman in the very front row jumped in and said, "You know what? Can you tell me a little bit about your fact finder?" And he said, "I'm just curious to know what your fact finder looks like." And this advisor smiled real big and said, "You know what? It's funny that you asked, because that's the simplistic part of my practice. My practice is pretty complex, but the way I talk to clients and the way that I use my fact finder is pretty simple." And so he, and again, if you were raised in the captive environment or the career environment, a lot of times there may be a 7-page fact finder. Clients are intimidated by that kind of stuff. So really a lot of the things that I learned early on are what we call napkin or legal pad ideas. So just things that you could jot down on a legal pad or a napkin that you can convey to your clients. And one of those things was there was a whiteboard behind this gentleman. So he stopped what he was doing and he walked back to the whiteboard and he literally drew 2 lines down the middle of the whiteboard to create 3 columns. And at the top of the column, he wrote, tax me now, tax me later, or tax me never. And that was the basis of his fact finder, was having conversations with people about where your dollars are tucked away, because people have money tucked away, whether they're affluent, whether they're professional athletes, whether they're Joe Lunch Bucket or very blue collar folks, whatever the case might be, wherever your clients are, they've got money tucked away in one of these 3 tax buckets. So when you're when you're looking for opportunity, it's important for us to know where the money is. We just call it the find the money approach. And so what we found is if you can find out where those dollars are as far as having a conversation around taxes, that is the most productive way to find where the money is. So we'll come back to this here in just a bit, but again, I hope you've got a pad and paper, because that was one of the most impactful things that I learned in the 20-some years that I've been in this business, is this simple way to start this conversation. So let's talk through an idea and a concept that, again, these are the ideas and concepts that we're going to talk through. We've also, these are case studies, actual cases that we've helped create in the field. So if you go back to the tax me now, tax me never, tax me later, those are opportunities to have to find where the money is. It's hard to have those conversations, but you know what? Once we start getting to the baseline of where the money is being kept and what tax bucket, then we can really become strategic advisors to again work on improving the outcome. So this is a particular case where we were working through de-risking a portfolio of a young lady, age 64, Susan. This was a case we worked on where she was retired from Coca-Cola. And if I'm from the Atlanta area, and it's hard to not run into somebody that's worked at Coke. So she had Coca-Cola stock as part of her portfolio. She's got a couple of kids, some grandchildren, and her husband just passed away recently at age 71. She owns some significant shares of Coca-Cola stock with a cost basis of $30 a share. Now, I also own a little bit of stock, not nearly as much as Susan, but what we found is obviously even a blue chip stock like Coca-Cola can have its ups and downs. If you've paid attention to what Coke has done this year, it's been a pretty volatile stock. But what we found is that Susan had some 401k money. She had some IRA money. She's got enough money to take care of her expenses. But what we found in the conversation by the tax bucket approach was this Coca-Cola stock. And what she wanted to do, and what her ultimate goal ended up being, was she wanted to leave this to her kids, and was concerned that market fluctuations were, really impacting the value of the stock. So it literally became, she didn't know what her legacy was going to be because the stock was so volatile. So what we talked about, and her financial advisor, Jessica, we had kind of kicked around the idea of, you know what if we were to liquidate some of that Coca-Cola stock in order to provide a more predictable outcome as far as the legacy that she wanted to leave. So what we found in having those conversations is that it made a lot of sense to her that her hot button was really, she did not like the volatility. In her 60s, she did not want to see the price of that stock continue to fluctuate so much. So we discussed some alternatives, and what came to be, finding out that No Lapse GUL providing that predictable and guaranteed death benefit was a very attractive option. So again, just conceptually, we haven't talked through any numbers or anything yet, but it made a lot of sense to Susan, because she wanted the predictable outcome to be able to know what she was going to leave her kids and her grandkids. So what the solution ended up being is, if you've paid attention to Coca-Cola stock, and the kind of the genesis of this conversation was the stock price was hovering right around $60 a share early in 2020, and in March, when the pandemic hit, the stock dropped to about $37 a share. That is extremely, for anybody that doesn't like unpredictability, that's a very difficult challenge to look at those numbers and know that your portfolio is being affected in that way. So what we ended up doing was coming up with a figure that she was comfortable with through her advisor, Jess, that we would make the following moves. We were going to sell that stock at $51 a share for a total of just over $64,000. So after capital gains taxes, the net to Susan was right at $60,000 for her to use. And again, we could strategically use this as a single pay, as a short pay life insurance policy. But what we decided to do, and what we decided would provide the best outcome, was providing a guaranteed death benefit using our Sage no lapse UL with a single premium of $60,000. So by doing that, let's talk through what outcomes we were able to create for this individual. So what we did was, again, just looking at it from a big picture, you had $51 a share, 5,500 shares of that stock. Then there's the outcome. You've got shares of liquidated stock at $51 a share. So we took the $64,000, we paid our capital gains tax, and then our single premium $60,000 ended up buying a death benefit of $200,000, just over $200,000 using our Sage no lapse UL. So the thing that really got her attention was this share price equivalent calculation, which basically showed her, by making this move, the equivalent share price of Coca-Cola stock would have to go to $157 a share in order to provide that kind of benefit. Now, Susan, do you feel confident that Coke would ever get to $157 a share from 50 based on where it is today? And she agreed there was no way that was possibility. So the keeping some of the Coca-Cola shares was important to her as far as legacy goes. So we didn't liquidate all the stock. She wanted to pass on the legacy of some Coca-Cola as a kind of a reminder of her spending most of her working life at Coke. But the ultimate outcome was that we were able to provide the death benefit of $200,000, which was guaranteed by the $60,000 single premium. And then the Coke stock valuation, based on current values of $51 a share, would provide the outcome of $415,747, which again, becomes a math problem at that point. So again, this is an outcome, and this is a case that we ended up writing by using this simple concept. So again, think of where your clients may be positioned, and if volatility in the stock market is a challenge, start making a list of clients that maybe you can talk to about how to use that approach to again continue to further your practice. Because I can promise you, there are not a lot of financial advisors who are in the fee-based world that would be showing this type of concept to somebody who's a stock owner. So let's move on to phase 2 here, which is, again, talking through final expense options. So when it comes to final expense options, many agents, many advisors like the fact that it's simple, it's simplistic. life insurance should be simplistic. And at Sagicor, what we've done is we've made the process and the product simple to understand, simple to use, and an alternative in a lot of cases to the outcomes that you can find with a final expense policy, for example. Sometimes you've got limited and graded death benefits during the early portions of these contracts. You know what? This Sage No Lapse UL with a minimum death benefit of $25,000 can oftentimes be a solution for those clients looking for a better bang for the buck, if you will. So again, the simplified process being very important. Our ACCELEWRITING process does not require a telephone interview, does not require a paramed. So again, using our simple end-to-end digital process, you can provide a solution with oftentimes more bang for the buck. So again, keep us in mind in these regards as well. But with a death benefit as small as $25,000, the emphasis is on the death benefit, not cash accumulation in these particular contracts. So again, they can be oftentimes a solid solution. So again, just showing the premium price point comparatively, you're looking at, for example, between Sagicor and Foresters, Liberty Bankers, pick one. Oftentimes, if your client can qualify for these particular instances, you're looking at $25,000 death benefit for a 65-year-old male, a savings of nearly $60 a month, even at a standard classification. So compared to Foresters, who's top of the heap here, $132 a month versus $76 a month, I think you can see the extraordinary benefit that oftentimes can be provided by just looking at an extended term policy, which is basically what No Lapse UL is, de-emphasizing the cash accumulation vehicle. Now, we do have cash accumulation products available, but for specific purposes of what we're talking through, again, multiple underwriting classes are available so your client can have better outcomes. And again, if they're sold on $132 a month, how much more benefit we can buy with that extra $60 a month can be significant, can be life-changing. So again, keep that in mind as you move along, that there are options. And chronic illness and terminal illness are available at no cost and no additional underwriting. So again, that makes these conceptual sales and these ideas, I know that a lot of times when we're in these marketplaces and we have our blinders on, we have our companies that we like specifically, give Sagicor a shot. I think you'll love our process. I think you'll love the product and the ease of doing business. And again, the ability to pick up the phone and talk to somebody and get answers to necessary questions. So again, a very solid option, and we're seeing a lot of this business currently. So even if you look at our Sage Whole Life product in the respect of you know, what if you've got somebody that likes the cash value piece of that pie, you can look at a $25,000 benefit for a 65-year-old male, and again, you're still more competitively priced, no graded death benefit, and even at a standard classification, you're looking at nearly a $10 a month savings. So again, whatever position your client's in, we can meet you there. And as a matter of fact, the Sage Whole Life product it qualifies for ACCELEWRITING up to age 85. So again, solutions for today's consumer that wants predictability, that wants better outcomes. Again, and we're providing those solutions not only to you, but to your clients as well. So again, I can't emphasize enough the fact that you do not have to have a telephone interview here. Again, a telephone interview, anytime you have to put somebody on the telephone with a third party and conduct those kinds of interviews, oftentimes that can be a tremendous breakdown. We don't require it. No paramed exam, and again, the terminal illness rider for no additional cost. So think about this as an option to what you may already be doing. As many of us know, last year brought the death of the stretch IRA. So along with the Secure Act of 2019 was the death of the stretch. And well, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to your clients? And how can that benefit and again, improve outcomes for your clients by efficiently helping them move assets? So let's just talk through some ideas and concepts of where this Sage No Lapse UL might be a fit in this marketplace. So in the case that we worked on here specifically, you've got Anne, who's a widow, age 75, and Jen, her only son. But she's got non-qualified assets, so she's got her home's paid off. She's in good shape financially. She was in very good shape. Now, what she did is she inherited an IRA from her husband, so when the stretch being done away with, the challenge was, what is the outcome going to be when that asset, her husband's asset, which she really didn't need to tap into, even though she's having to take RMDs, she really didn't need that money and just wanted to pass it on to her son Jen. And she was really, this lady was very unsure of what to do. She was frankly scared. So what we talked through was potentially, well, what if we could show you a way to take those RMDs, so take the required minimum distributions, and buy a life insurance contract with a guaranteed outcome. And so that really was a subject that she wanted to talk through. She wanted to talk about how she could use that RMD money, which she really didn't need and really hadn't planned on using, to create a legacy at that point. And we see this a lot with folks that have old IRAs that, they really don't need the income, but RMDs are required, so it's something that they've got to deal with, and that can be a source of funds for funding something like a guaranteed death benefit product, like our Sage No Lapse UL. So what we talked through were strategies to create not only the preserve the principle of the IRA, but also use those RMDs to provide some type of initial death benefit. And what we ended up doing, again, from the combination of the CD and the death benefit provided by the RMD purchase, would net out almost $500,000, where we, again, in a very tax efficient manner. So what we ended up doing was the kind of solution that she wanted. She wanted to make sure that her kids would not be, or Jen in this particular case, would not be challenged with a tremendous tax bill. So again, there's opportunity everywhere if we're asking the right questions. And it really all goes back to the tax bucket approach of exactly where those dollars are being held. So when we have those kinds of conversations, you'll find that clients will open up to you tremendously. So again, the outcome was something that she was looking for. And again, this is the IRA balance at a hypothetical even 3% growth rate. You're looking at a tremendous balance of death benefit, as well as continued improvement in the stance of where that IRA is. So again, the money that's being passed on is leveraged. We are leveraging up the money that we're able to pass on, and we're doing it in a tax efficient manner where the benefit to Jen is going to be exponential. So you've got a total payout over that period of time, including the lump sum distributions. You're looking at a death benefit as well as the IRA being passed on to Jen of $680,000. So we're using leverage to our benefit with a simple sales concept, but providing a guaranteed death benefit, but she still maintains the control of her assets. She's just using dollars that she's not using anyway to create the annual premium dollar that we're funding with our no lapse UL solution. So again, just comparing the options, I'm a visual learner. So again, I just put this visual up on the screen to show what the outcomes are based on decision, no decision. So when we're talking through those solutions, here is the solution. If you don't do anything, here's what you're going to get. If you take our advice and make these purchases and do this, here's the outcome. And it's nearly $200,000 difference by making those, by just making that choice, saying yes. So you can pass on, and will be able to leave $181,000 more by the decision that we've showed her, that we can improve those outcomes. And again, that's what we're after, is if we can improve the outcome, there's no reason for her not to say yes. So let's talk through one thing. When we talk about finding the money, you're going to have opportunities to create legacy, liquidity, and living benefits. So there may be clients that you're going to be working with. Again, going back to the tax conversation, there may be clients that have a completely different outcome in mind. So we've actually got a new product now called WealthCare, which is a true single premium life insurance contract. It's got some very unique benefits and features that I want to share with you. So it may also be a solution when it comes to single premium funding. So now, what I want to point to is the Tax Me Now bucket. That is one of the primary sources of single premium funds. So when you get into those conversations and you find those dollars, there's been studies done recently. CNBC had a study that nearly $2 trillion has flowed from the market into banks as of April of this year. So again, when the pandemic started, people have a tendency to pull back and be more conservative because they don't know what's going to happen in the marketplace. So the Tax Me Now bucket has grown exponentially. There's now nearly $19 trillion in the banking system where those dollars and those funds are coming from. So when we're having these conversations, it's important to have your client engaged in the process. Have them line out for you where those dollars are. Even the names of those banking institutions, whether they're savings and loans, whatever they happen to be, if you can find those dollars on the sidelines, you are going to have a successful conversation. And just as a side note, oftentimes I get into conversations with agents and advisors about, well, I'm a little nervous to have a conversation about taxes, about anything. None of us are tax advisors. We don't give tax advice. But the thing is when I'm talking to an advisor and he or she is a little nervous to talk about taxes, because, well, my client will tell me they've got a tax advisor, they've got a CPA, whatever the case might be. It's very important to make the distinction of what a CPA and a tax advisor does. When a CPA and a tax advisor, when they talk about taxes, they talk about taxes in the context of what's happened the previous 12 months. So when you meet with your tax advisor in January, February, March, whenever you meet with your tax advisor, when they want to know, okay, well, give me everything for the previous tax year. They want to look backwards. We, as agents and advisors in the field, need to look at ourselves as proactive or forward-looking tax advisors. Now, again, we don't give tax advice. We don't give tax advice. But when we talk about these outcomes of taxes, we're talking more about what's going to happen in the future than what's happened in the past. So, and really that kind of piggybacks along with a 2019 nationwide poll that nearly 35% of pre and post retirees did not take into account how taxes would affect their incomes or legacy. So knowing that, it's important to be proactive in your conversations with your clients. I'm not looking backward like a CPA is. I'm looking to the future. I'm looking forward with you. And it's very clear to make that distinction, because I do have that come back to me occasionally saying, well, you know what, I don't want to get into these conversations here because it makes me look like they're CPA. That's the clear distinction. So I hope that helps. So when it comes to single premium life insurance, this WealthCare product has been our biggest growing segment. So the two largest growing segments of our life insurance business specifically are WealthCare, our true single premium life, and our no lapse UL, for the reasons why I've outlined here in our time together this morning. So what we're finding is that, again, the tax me now bucket, CDs, money market accounts, the money that's flowing into the banking system is not money that is doing anything. It is in fact being squandered. I'm sitting on it because I'm unsure of what to do with those dollars. So when we talk about WealthCare, when we talk about single premium life, we talk about multitasking of dollars. So when we meet with somebody like Jenny, who's age 65, she wanted to make sure that there was a legacy for her kids. She also was also concerned because chronic illness, cognitive care needs run in her family. So her mom had spent 3 years in a nursing home. So this was something that was on her mind as we were talking about dollars that she had in money market accounts, bond funds, low risk, low yield instruments that were really doing nothing for her, and certainly would not provide any leveraged benefit should she want to pass on dollars to her family after her demise. So as we started talking through, it became clear to us that Jenny was somebody that may be a prospect for WealthCare from the standpoint of what she wanted to do, what she wanted to accomplish, and how because she was very concerned about her money not doing anything. So the dollars that were sitting in her money market accounts, bond funds, whatever the case might be, we came to find out that, yeah, those were dollar for dollar. She could certainly use those for chronic illness. She could certainly pass those on to her children. But what would she do if the chronic illness was not available? If there was anything that I could do to improve the outcome of what Amy was dealing with. So we discussed WealthCare. We discussed the opportunity to show her how her dollars could be multitasking, how they could be doing multiple things. And as a matter of fact, one of the beautiful parts of our WealthCare contract, of our WealthCare product, is it has a return of premium guarantee. That is what was hugely important to Jenny, is making sure that those dollars were not at risk. She pulled them out. She pulled those dollars out of the market specifically because she didn't want that money at risk. So whether it's $100,000, whether it's $200,000, whatever those dollars happen to be, identify those funds that could potentially be doing something different, that could be providing multiple benefits. And in this case, there were guarantees. There was upside potential because there are leveraged options as far as indexing. We do have options available for this product where growth is the ultimate outcome. I mean, Jenny is only 65 years old. She could potentially live 25, 30 additional years. So during that period of time, Jenny, wouldn't it be important for you to know that your money has the opportunity to grow with no downside. And that's when we focused on the conversations of growth, legacy, guarantees, and then the living benefit piece of it, which is detailed here, which is the guaranteed and current numbers, were absolutely floored Jenny. So she looked at the ability for her $100,000, $200,000. In this case, it ended up being, I think this case ended up being 100,000, maybe 150. But she took the opportunity to look at, well, here's this outcome, here's that outcome, and it all made sense to her. You've got chronic illness benefit for 48 months, which will take care of anything and make sure that she's not a burden. She's got the guaranteed return of premium that if anything happens long-term, if anything happens down the line, all she's got to do is work with her agent, and Sagicor will give her money back, the initial guaranteed deposit. But she's also got the upside leverage of knowing that if the market continues to perform, the indice that she has an option to choose with Sagicor will continue that growth as well with no with a 0% floor. So again, those provided the things that she was looking for specifically. We ended up closing this case based on these numbers and the conversation about how her dollars could be multitasking. So about WealthCare, what we do is we offer a preferred class, and that preferred class is actually preferred to table 4. So it's a blended class, ages 18 to 85. Our sweet spot for this product is usually late 50s, early 60s, all the way up to age 85. So guaranteed return of premium, as I mentioned, you got lifetime guaranteed death benefits with the upside potential of choosing an indice that will perform over time. You've got this qualifies for our accelerated underwriting program, which we detailed earlier at the net amount at risk that are available here on the screen. So again, this is a very simple, straightforward process. No telephone interview, no senior supplements available, and again, keeping with the theme of the day, which is e-delivery, e-application, electronic processes from end to end, and then you add the chronic illness and terminal illness benefits. This becomes a very simple solution for people that are looking for those multitasking dollar solutions. So just as we start to review what we've gone through today, so no lapse universal life can provide a predictable guaranteed death benefit. WealthCare can provide not only that predictable death benefit, but the value of upside potential, the access of chronic illness, as well as with the no lapse product. WealthCare can provide the return of premium guarantee that people are looking for as well. So again, keeping the spirit of the conversation in mind, some key points to remember for today. Where do we find the money? Find the money by talking about what tax bucket those dollars are in. What is the tax ramification of doing X, Y, and Z? Take a legal pad, draw 2 lines down the middle and make those 3 columns, and add that to each of your clients' profiles, each of your clients' files, and have those conversations with your clients and see where that takes you. Because you've got partners in Premier, you've got partners in Sagicor who can help walk you through those conversations. We've created these solutions before. We'll have these conversations with you so you can go in fully prepared, ready to have those conversations and provide those solutions that today's consumers are looking for. So plugging in the products, but also making sure to plug in the process that's not going to make things difficult for you. So again, the sales ideas, concentrated stock. Find any of your clients who may have concentrated stock positions or are currently retired or pre-retiring maybe they have stock options. So again, have those kinds of conversations with your clients and identify where those dollars can come from. And then keep in mind that we provide these solutions. These are two products that we talked about today. We've got a full product suite of life insurance and annuity products. So again, we want to help you identify where those dollars are, and then we'll be your partner and your strategist on how to properly structure what we want to do moving forward. So I hope this gave you some insight, some tools to use and that you can take to the field today. If you have any questions, I think you're going to find Sagicor that once you get to know us, you'll find us your company of choice. You're positioned very well with the folks at Premier. They do a great job. We're thrilled with the partnership. We certainly appreciate the opportunity to come and speak with you all this morning, and I look forward to hearing from you all about your successes as we move forward. So thanks so much for your time. Kathy, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Hey, Corey, you did a wonderful job. I'm so excited about this, what you just got done doing and talking about. I'm thinking every agent that listened to this is going to get one or two pieces that they can take back and talk to their clients about when they're talking to them now. A lot of great information and a lot of great knowledge. If anyone has questions, I see we do have a couple questions up there. One of the questions is this available in New York or Florida? And they are not in New York at this time, so Florida, yes. We do have an underwriting question, and I will get back to you on that. I'll give you a call, Terry, and reach out to you on that to help you out with that. That was just asking if how Sagicor looks at a prospect who's on oxygen with CPAP due to sleep apnea. But I can give you a call and work with you on that. But if anyone else has any additional questions about this webinar or any cases that you want to see, please give us a call, 800-365-8208. And my team extension is 607. And another question just popped up, is this available in Colorado? And yes, it is.
Absolutely.
Corey, while I have you on the phone real quick here, is there any, besides New York, is there any other state that you guys are not in for all the products?
Alaska.
Alaska. Okay. So Florida's good, California's good.
And still unfortunately currently Connecticut as well.
Connecticut. Okay. Right. All right. Okay. Well, that helps. I got a lot of
One thing I did want to provide your listeners with is access to our micro marketing site. If you're not licensed with Sagicor, you can access this website I'll give you, which is www.sagicorproducer, which is all one word, sagicorproducer.com. When you get to that micro marketing site, you'll be able to go through the entire suite of life insurance products that we offer, as well as annuity products, as well as our accelerating guidelines for each of our product lines, including term, our no lapse, which we talked about today, WealthCare as well. That will just give you a quick overview that you can get started and be proactive in looking through our portfolio today, and then certainly get with Kathy, and she can help facilitate getting you licensed with us if you're not, and additional information in any detail that you might need.
Yep. I will have my team try to email that out to you guys within the next couple days. That way you have the link that you can just click on and go to. Otherwise, if you need something quicker from us, again, the number 800-365-8208. My extension or team extension is 607. Give us a call. We're here to help you guys out and get you contracted and set up. One question or one thing I do want to bring up here is when you do your contracting, we need to get you an agent code right away. It doesn't take very long to get an agent code, but then that gives you the ability to log into their website and run quotes and do the e-application process. Your first piece of business does take a little bit longer. Your client could be approved, but it does take a little longer to issue just because they'll pull your backgrounds as soon as they get your first piece of business and get moving on that. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Did I say that correctly, Corey?
You bet.
Okay,
you got it. Yeah.
All right.
We'll make sure. So if you have an interest in what we've talked about this morning, please work with Kathy as soon as possible to get your agent licensing papers in. If you have cases that you're working on, we'd like to go ahead and get you licensed before taking that first application, so you can experience and your client can potentially experience that e-delivery system and the quick underwriting process that we do have. We want to set you up for success, so make sure that you get with Kathy, and let's keep the lines of communication open so we can get you that experience.
All right, sounds great. Everybody have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you, Corey. As always, it was a great webinar for us. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.
My pleasure. Enjoy the day.